Okay.
This is my vlog and I can record anything I want. Here it goes.
You look like you're going to prom.
Crazy.
With a chair.
Yeah, right?
What's the pathway here?
Okay, yeah, we'll take that so I won't fall and bust my ass.
Is that a pathway? No.
Yeah, there's a walkway over here.
Oh, on this side. We're looking at the sunset. Okay, let's. We are here. We're gonna put ASA 50 instead of 64. Reed's first time at Panda Express.
I'm panicking. It's so many options. It's not really what it is.
Like your boots.
I don't know. You might have to wear one on Monday.
I said I like your boots.
That's great.
Thank you.
So nice. Be momentum. Bye.
Don't want anything to drink?
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, we good. Nah, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Rashad.
Oh, yeah. Like, juice and things. That's that. Yeah.
That's how you pronounce it?
Acai. Yeah. My mom says acai. I'm like, Mom, is that acai?
I say acai.
Yeah, acai.
Okay, ready? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, action. Keep going, keep going. Turn. So yeah, one day Bree's gonna sing this on her own. So we are now at the end of the vlog, which is pretty much a segment where I say what I'm grateful for. And if you've binge watched this whole vlog series, then you probably already know all of this, and this is not new. This is just a recap of today. I was not feeling well. I've been feeling sick, and do not make any jokes. I know for sure that I don't have COVID because I've been tested recently and I am negative. And I just feel like the weather has been changing because, like you saw the other day, it snowed here. So I think that now I've been like under the weather and feeling some type of way, and then started to feel very drained because I also feel that I've been slowly working again a lot, even though I told myself that I would wind down for the holidays and not work as much. And I think that's what happens when I've rejected client work for the past month. And that's really big privilege because people are looking for work left and right. And for me, I feel that I've made my quota, that I didn't have to work as much. So I just took a month break and focus on schoolwork, and now I'm like pretty much done with my finals, and then now I'm able to go back to work and be on set and do all these things that I usually do. And it's crazy because people usually just hang out with family or just, I don't know what people do besides that during the holidays. And for me, it's like right before Christmas and after Christmas. Winter time is usually a time for people who especially are creatives, or let's say in the photography, videography field, they don't get that much work because it's like off season. But for me, I get a lot of work during this time, and it's just, instead of relaxing, I'm just like overwhelmed right exactly when the new year's about to start. And I can't complain because that's what I do. I live for, not to work, but to do the projects and things that I do. And it just happens as a timeline, especially working on a TV show. We are like prepping for the show to come out in February. And so it's just very chaotic during this time. And that's what I can just say about that. Today, I just tried my best to get it together. I drank Airborne. I don't know if you know what Airborne is, but Airborne is like this tablet that you put in hot water and then it'll like evaporate, and it's like a immune boost system kind of thing where it has all these vitamins and nutrients, and It's supposed to like make you feel better temporarily, and that's what I took today. And then I went literally to go shoot this project of mine that is first time my big project for the end of the year, but also with my Bolex. I haven't been filming anything yet besides skate stuff, but nothing personal on the Bolex that I just bought. And I'm excited to share with you guys that I was filming or capturing my friend Rashad Wright. He is the Jersey City Poet Laureate. That sounds confusing. And when I heard about that, I didn't even know what that was, but pretty much he is known for being this very amazing performer who can do spoken word, and he got this award as being that person and having that title. And he was so kind. He is one of the nicest people I know. Our studios were in the same building. That's how I met him. And then small world, we actually go, or what, he already graduated, but we went to the same university that I'm in now. And so he gave me a copy of his book. My old studio mate, John, he captured these photos on the cover and the back cover. It's pretty much a helmet because Rashad was in the military, and you see dog tags, and Rashad always wears his jewelry, and that is pretty much it. Just has like his poems, and it's called Romeo's Whiskey, and you can find him on Instagram. It's right_raw. I don't know why I had like small accent there, but that's Rashad. So we filmed Rashad doing something. We're not gonna get too much into detail, just gotta wait for that project. And my AD, my assistant director, was Bree. She has been working with me a lot, and she has a clothing line, and I came to support. I already supported by buying her Grace Jones shirt. So what she actually does is make these geographic artwork of famous people that I don't know necessarily that she idolizes, or people that just are people who people idolize. And so I bought the Grace Jones shirt from her, and then she came out with a Bruce Lee one, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think it's only in hoodies, but I asked as a request if I could get a shirt because I have so many hoodies and I'm just trying to cut down. So I got this today. So this is an idea of what you would get if you bought something from her. Her clothing line is called B Momentum. That's BE stands for her name, her initials, Brianna Evans, and momentum. Just having the momentum to be able to do what you want to do. She might like have some other way of rephrasing that, but that's a spiel that we would always bounce back and talk about with her brand. And so you could also check her out. I'm just very, very thankful that I have creative friends that I could always like create stuff with. And it's not just, let's say like photography related. It's cool that I have friends like them who do something completely different than what I do, but for some reason we could all still collaborate and make something amazing out of whatever it is that we concentrate on and focus on. And that's what's very authentic and organic and just great all together. So that was today. That was the shoot, and powered through. But then in the end of the shoot, I was like slowly winding down, and then you could tell with my face that I was just like pretty much like done. Like I used all the energy that I could possibly have to continue to do this. And then afterwards we just pretty much chilled, got some coffee, and then we split up. And then after that I finally had time to go on my social media platforms. And for me, I don't like being on my phone 24/7. Seriously, real talk. Any of my friends who really know me know that I hate being on my phone. But I have to also be on my phone because I have to be responsive to clients or to friends who really need to talk to me. I don't like to leave people hanging because I know how it feels like when you need to talk to someone, and if someone doesn't respond and you really need to just get that advice or that opinion or whatever it is, and they're not there, that's just a shitty feeling. And so I try my best to be there as much as possible. And so then literally after work, I just started responding to everyone. And then I saw that one of my good friends, Chris Barlucci. I feel like we've been talking a lot lately about this on the vlog, but I didn't know that I got featured on the Negative Supply blog, a written blog. I'm not talking about this kind of vlog. And pretty much the Ilford My Film Story video of mine got featured on there. So thank you, because it's pretty much her recommendation, and I didn't ask for it, but it's very, very nice, and I'm so thankful. And what else? If you haven't seen Brian Burks' video, I think I mentioned that on yesterday's video. It's hard when I do so many things. I try my best to keep up. But it's just so funny because this week alone, 2 of my friends on YouTube gave me shout outs with them saying my name and pronouncing it wrong. And it's crazy because we talk like back and forth like every other week or every other day. And it's not Joan Michel. It's Joan Michel. And every time someone says it wrong, I hear Vince Perry Jr. in my head. I always hear him laughing because he knows how much of an insider that is within our circle of friends. And it's not Joan Michel. It's Joan Michel. And funny enough, Bree, my friend who I had AD today, she literally saw these statues, these awards that are just sitting in my attic because that's where they were hidden for the longest time from all my elementary, high school awards. And she was like, you're like not saying, that's like not your real last name. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I always knew you as Joan Michel. And I was like, oh yeah, because that's my middle name. That's never been, I mean, of course, that's not my last name. And so I also had this conversation with someone else yesterday. And my last name, I mentioned this in previous videos, but if you're new here, because apparently there was a whole wave of people that just showed up on YouTube and on Instagram, whether it's because of this female representation issue or because you found me on someone else's video or recommendation that now you guys are all here watching this. It is Joan Michel, and my last name is Vergara. And it's like literally the Spanish way of how you say it or pronounce it. I might suck at rolling my R's. I kind of like sucked at doing that in French. I studied French for 3 years. Not the best, but I can read it if I go, when I went to Paris or I go somewhere in Canada. I haven't been to Montreal. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. So for me, I really idolize this photographer, funny enough, female photographer named Laura Jade. And I know that's not her full name. I think it's Laura Jade Cotton. But she got married now, so she has another last name now. But at the time, she was 23. I think I was only like 16, 17, whatever. And I was like, oh, you know what? Like, if I become somebody, I want only my first and middle name like her. So that's the origin of Joan Michel. It's not because I wasn't proud of. I get called out for that. Like, oh, you're not proud of being a Vergara. And I'm like my family back home in the Philippines. And I'm like, it's not that. It's just that at the time, I really, really liked Laura Jade's work. And then it just was my handle forever since high school, like 10 years ago. And so it stuck, like, or stayed since Facebook, MySpace days, being Joan Michel. And then now it's just kind of like I just don't go back to it, because if I put Joan Michel Vergara, I think it'll just mess up how people search me on search engines, because then it'll be like Joan Michel and Joan Michel Vergara. It's just too many things going on. So just keep it simple, Joan Michel, not Joan Michel, and tell your friends that if you know they're pronouncing it wrong. And that's just a big pet peeve of mine. You will never hear me respond to anyone who says Joan Michel. I will never like look at you. It'll be like, who's that? Literally every time someone says my name like that, I'm always like, who's that? And the crazy thing, here's a really, really, really secret. If you want to know a secret, it's not a secret, but it's like you want to be part of the whole relationship of being close and really knowing Joan. Yes, I went there, talked in third person. Joan is obviously my first name. There's no hidden agenda there. Joan is my first name. However, over here back home, no one calls me Joan. literally, you could ask all my circle of friends. Everyone always knows me as JV because Joan Vergara. So it's just like everyone, even my mom. Back then, when people would interview my mom, people would be like, oh, like, how's Joan? Or I know I'm Joan's friend. And my mom would be like, who's that? My own mom doesn't even respond to Joan. So it took her a while because like when interviews would become serious and more serious, she really had to know that Joan was me. But if you say JV, like instantly she's just like, oh, I know who you're talking about. And so most of my friends, if I like walk into their job or wherever I meet up with friends, they're always like, yo, JV. It's not Joan. So I had to get used to my name because, like I said, within my family and my circle of friends, no one calls me Joan. In the Philippines, no one calls me Joan. Everyone calls me JV. That's why on Facebook, when I had Facebook back then, it'd be like my name and then in like parentheses JV because they just wouldn't recognize my name. They just knew me for JV because that was what they always called me since I was born. So that's a long story, and hopefully we can stop that JOAN MICHEL pronunciation. It's just wrong. It's like when you get your name mistaken by a teacher, or especially when you get like an award. That shit sucks because you're just like, that's not me. And I was already struggling with Joan Vergara being announced all the time. So that's the story of that. And I just never thought people would butcher JOAN MICHEL. But now I know that even doesn't work out. So you guys gotta help me out here. JOAN MICHEL, people have said to make shirts. I'm not doing that. It's not the type of merch that I ever wanted to create. To just remind some people. You guys could do your own merch about that if you want. And what else? That was a whole spiel just about my name that I've always just keep having to remind people. And I just also want to say that I got this question yesterday, and it's about if there was no YouTube, like would you still be doing what you're doing? And you're gonna hear the heater because we have the old school heater here in Jersey because of this 100-year-old house. So just ignore that in the background. Pretty much what I was gonna say is that for me, I've always been doing photography since I was 17, and I'm 28 now. So that's like over 10 years. And YouTube, when it first started, I was just watching two Asian guys. I don't even know if they're brothers or they're just friends. They would always lip sync to Backstreet Boys. And I would watch Wong Fu Productions. If you don't know them, look them up. They're amazing. They're three guys who now expanded to a whole crew, and they always focus on creating content for like the Asian community, and their filmmaking skills definitely grew and expanded. But those are the things I would watch. I would also watch people make music covers. That was like a huge thing back then. And now it's just different. There's other different genres and things. And so I took YouTube seriously just 2 years ago. When I was in high school and YouTube started, I was just like singing songs on my guitar, writing songs, and like singing covers, stuff like that. And then I got bullied, and that's a whole nother story that we can get into. But then I stopped YouTube. But talking about this channel right now, I've been doing it for like 2 years seriously, and then I stopped. That was like after I came back to America. I stopped, and then now I came back, and then now religiously posting consistently content about film photography. And so that's just me. Like if there was no YouTube, I wouldn't stop doing photography or whatever it is that I do in my career. I've always been doing this. I even dropped out of college to go assist and work under other photographers to learn and improve my craft. So, and I don't make income on YouTube yet, so everything doesn't revolve around YouTube. YouTube is literally my experimental playground where I just like post stuff, and like whoever finds it, because for me, I enjoy watching interviews and seeing people do their thing and see the process. For example, like if I have a favorite music video, I always like to watch the behind the scenes. And so if you like something that I made, usually on this channel you'll see how it was done. And that is pretty much my YouTube channel. And then literally, I just now, I mean, it's been over a year. I literally met Chris Barlucci from Analog Talk since last November. So it's been a year about advocating about women or females, about film photography community. And those are just things that I'm just very, very vocal and passionate about, and I just share on my channel. And if you're new here, this is why I'm just giving this like short story of a long story. And I'm just trying to think. What I say is not scripted. It's just whatever I know for a fact that I want to talk to about with you guys for today. And I'm going to create a video soon about the future of this channel. And I think I mentioned that in a previous vlog too, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth today because literally there's so many random people that have been now subscribing and following out of nowhere, and I don't know where you guys came from, whether it's from blogs or recommendations from other YouTubers or you seeing me on posts on people's stories. I don't know, but I appreciate it, and I'm grateful that you're here now and that you found me and you're liking hopefully what you're seeing. And I know I'm not the typical film photography channel. This channel is not just film photography. It's a whole channel about what it is that I do. And I talk about mental health. I talk about people and the experience that I've experienced. There's a lot of things that go on in this channel. And I interview my friends who are creatives and who I feel like have good things to say that could help other people. It just is a variety of things. I feel like a channel is not one TV show. A channel, whenever you flip through cable, is a channel of TV shows. So that's how I treat my channel. I feel like it's a channel filled with different shows because it gets boring and redundant to see the same show. So my channel is filled with different shows, not different episodes, it's just different shows. I think that even broadens the expansion of my channel. And so that's how I see it. And I think people are getting confused with these vlogs lately. They're like, why is Joan vlogging so much? Like, did she just drop film photography? And it's like, no. I just was like not in a good headspace, and I just decided that I want to vlog. And I was hoping that creating these vlogs, you would get to know me more. And it's not like, oh shit, like I saw something cool that Joan did. It's like, I saw something cool that Joan did, but now I also understand why those little things, those little details she put in her projects, because I know this and that about her. And I think that's what makes whatever I make much more special, because you really actually get a hint of understanding me and understanding what I make and understanding the whole thing all together. Because what I make is not just, oh, Portrait 800, blah, 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 Yashica 124G kind of video. It's like, there's a reason why I have that camera. There's a reason why I chose that film stock. There's a reason why I'm capturing what I'm capturing. And it's either A, because I have this relationship with this person that I captured, and there's a reason why I'm at that location. Like, there's so many reasons. It's not just like sporadically, spontaneously. Even though some people are into that, my thing always has a purpose. And that's a big thing that I always want to express, is that my things are very strategically planned, and I might not be the best at putting it all together because it seems maybe all over the place sometimes, but there's always intention and a purpose, and I usually write down whatever it is that I'm making, and then it might not be exactly how I want to make it, but it's shaped in at least in some sort of direction that I want to do. That makes sense? If that doesn't make sense, you can comment below. But that's just how my brain is wired. And I just want to say that I'm grateful that watch hours, I've always expressed this to my friends. In order to get monetized on YouTube, even though people say that YouTube money is not a lot, it's still something in order to compensate for like film, like a roll of film, like something small like that. And so you have to reach 4,000 watch hours. Today is the day that I finally reached 2,000 watch hours, which is halfway mark to 4,000. I honestly never thought I would even reach this very moment right now. I thought it might be until 2021, but we're here. And I just want to say, because of you guys watching, I really, really appreciate it. It means a whole lot. I know I can't just say as many thank yous as I want. If I could, I would give you an air hug. I am in some sort of way right now, and it's just very, very meaningful in a sense, because I feel like I've reached a milestone. Even to other people who have bigger followings, it might not mean much, but all the hard work that we do as YouTubers to put out videos and content and like replying and responding and like keeping up with everybody, it's a lot of work. It's not easy whatsoever. It's like there are people who just put out videos and they don't look back and they don't associate or interact with you guys, but like I try my best to make it very close, tight knit, because if you took the time out of your day to go watch these videos, the least thing I could do is respond, especially if you guys just have like nice things to say. And what else can I say? So that was something that happened today. I feel like it's kind of like when you play a video game. You enter the video game because, you know, you want to figure out how to get to the end point. And you have all these obstacles in order to get to these different levels, and then you reach the boss. That's pretty much how I sometimes see YouTube. I feel like YouTube, you enter the space, and then you decide that you want to create a channel. Now you're trying to figure out all these obstacles to obtain these different levels to then unlock other options and things that you could do on this platform. So that's the whole thing with watch hours, my whole little thing about that. And like I said, without you guys, it would have not happened. And I'm trying to think. I think that's pretty much it for now. I know, it's very, very lengthy. I could just see from my camera, it says 25 minutes. But today I had a lot to say. And not every day I have a million things to say. But all you guys, you know, you guys came out of nowhere and I don't know where. And I just want you guys to get a good grasp about what this channel is about. Like I said, this is just like a small spiel of a video that I'm eventually going to come out about the future of this channel. So thank you again. Please support Rashad Wright, B Momentum, my friend Bree, and that's it for now. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay, cool. Sayonara.
It's the end of the video, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, it will help me in the long run. Okay, bye.